Hey everyone, today we're talking about Mission Impossible Fallout. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, please give the link a click below. Don't forget to hit the bell button, you'll be able to see all of my future videos. And welcome to Matt's Movie Reviews. Hey everyone, welcome to Matt's Movie Reviews, and today we're talking about Mission Impossible Fallout, which is the sixth in the series of the franchise of the Mission Impossible films, which started way back in 1996, believe it or not. This one's kind of unique because it has the same director from the previous film, Christopher Macquarie, and generally it's a tradition for these films to have a different director for each instalment, and there has been in the past quite a gap between each film. This one's got the shortest, with the last film, Rogue Nation, being released back in 2015. This film of course stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt and his IMF buddies of our very own Simon Pegg, who plays Benji, and of course Ving Rhames, who plays Luther and is the only other character to have been in all of the six movies so far. The plot loosely follows on from the previous film, but you don't actually have to see that film to enjoy this one. There's a lot of explanatory dialogue that brings you up to date, so I wouldn't worry if you haven't seen any of the other movies. I must admit I'm a very casual viewer of the Mission Impossible films. I have seen them all, obviously. I didn't see the first one for a very long time after it was released. I think I may have seen number 2 first, funnily enough, which is considered the weakest in the series. Back in 2006, Mission Impossible 3 was directed by J.J. Abrams, who acts as producer on this film, and he's been credited with relaunching the Mission Impossible franchise back then. And I must say that the films have gone from strength to strength to strength over this last 12 years. It is action-packed. It is like one of the most action-packed films I've seen for a very long time. Tom Cruise does a lot of his own stunts in this. I think there's about 4 extreme stunts. Obviously he's done things like climbing the Burj in Dubai, clinging onto the outside of the plane in the last film, but he really ups the ante in this film. To one point where he actually broke his ankle and they had to stop filming for 8 weeks. So this film loosely follows on from the last film. It's set 2 years later, where Solomon Lane, who was the bad guy in the last film, has been locked away and is being used as a bargaining tool for some nuclear devices. As I say, don't like to go into the plot too much. I know this is a bit of a later review, but obviously if you haven't seen the film yet, I'm not going to talk too much about deep plot points here, just give you my overview opinion of the picture. And if you have seen the film, obviously you can pick up on some of the stuff that I'm saying and identify that without spoiling the movie for you. I went into the film without actually seeing any trailers at all. I'm finding that more and more commonplace these days. I actually don't really want to see the trailers. I think for me it helps with understanding the film, enjoying it better, and I don't go in with any preconceptions. It's a real benefit. I know it's really hard to not watch trailers these days on the back, of everything's pumped through YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc, etc. You can't get away from it. But I was lucky enough that I didn't really see any of the big trailers, possibly just seen the first one. That just gives you a little taster for it. So we say that Tom Cruise does all his own stunts again at the age of, he's in his mid-50s now. This guy shows no sign of letting up. And like I said previously, the series is moving on and on. It's getting better and better, which is great, really, because I feel that this summer hasn't been a great year for great movies. Tom Cruise is joined on this mission by Henry Cavill, our very own Henry Cavill, taking time off from Superman, and sports the very famous moustache that caused big problems with the reshoots on the Justice League movie. He's a great addition to the cast, and the certain fight scene that takes place in the bathroom with him and Tom is amazing. Apparently it took about 4 weeks to shoot this one, but absolutely amazing. So the plot of the film follows the very mysterious John Lark and follows his team of the Apostles, whose mission it is to basically restart the world, restart society. They believe that we're too corrupt and they're looking to do something with it. The film is just amazingly action-packed. The halo jump scene took almost a year to plan. So this is a beautifully shot film, absolutely stunningly shot. There are some points where I actually thought I was watching a different director in each segment, because there's some sections where there's the key to J.J. Abrams' work with the lens flares, beautiful lighting, you know, great cinematography. And there's a section in there that reminds me of a certain Christopher Nolan franchise. You'll know which one it is. It is really similar. This is just to say that his version was shot in the dark and this one's shot in the day. But yeah, some very similar there. And the music cues are very, very similar as well. Okay, so let's go into some of the things about the film that I didn't enjoy too much, and there's not much, honestly. This is a really good film. I did find that certain parts of the plot became very complicated, and then by the time you were catching up with it, you were into another action set piece, which takes you away again, and then you have to kind of digest the film as you're going. On with the action. At a running time of nearly 2.5 hours, this film, you can kind of get a little bit numb to the action at some points, I felt. You know, maybe some things go on a little bit longer than they should do. I definitely know that 15 minutes felt more like 45 minutes or half an hour, without giving away too much of the plot there. But saying that, it's great. The cast are great. It's really nice to see the returning characters. Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames don't have a big part in this film as usual, but you know, there's some good little comedy there, and it's good to see the returning characters. So just to summarise, Mission Impossible Fallout is a great summer film. You know, don't be scared if you haven't seen any other ones and this is your first viewing into the entry. Go and see it. It's a great film. I really enjoyed it. If you enjoy my content and you like the channel, please give me a subscribe on the link below. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll post a link up to my other reviews. I'm currently working on my retro review section, which is looking back at classic films over the last 4 decades. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Thank you.